Welcome back. You are tuned in to IBL, inspired by Onika, speaking on life and inspiring people. Welcome to this episode of Poetry Flip. So for anyone that's here for the first time, let me just give you a little background about what Poetry Flip is about. So in these episodes, I will recite some poems that I wrote on my blog, and I just randomly pick which ones, I'm going to recite for certain episodes, and it just depends. I may pick one that's related to something that's going on in the world at the time that I publish, or, I'll just pick something at random. And if you ever want to read the written version, you can head over to my blog at www.inspirebyonika.com. That's INSPIREBYONIKA. And, if you ever hear me say, this poem is written in response to a prompt by one of my fellow bloggers, that just means that one of the bloggers has posted an image or a word or phrase, and they invite other writers to write a piece about that image or that word or phrase. And, you can join in or not join in. And just to keep it fun and interesting, they'll give you some guidelines. They might say, so your piece can be no more than 50 words, or it has to be 8 lines long, or you have to include a certain word in your piece. So they just give you different things just to keep it interesting and make it fun. So whenever you hear me say that's what it means. And even, the ones that I don't join in, I read what other people write too, because that just, to me, is interesting to see that we're all looking at the same image, but we all have such different perspectives. So, I think it's interesting. But anyway, so that's basically what that means when you hear me say that. And all the poems that I recite and that are on my blog, they are original poems that I wrote. So let's get started with today's featured poem. Welcome everyone. This is episode 39, and today is Poetry Flip, and this is number 9 in the series, and today's title is The Phenomenal Growth of Hip Hop. Alright, y'all. So anyone that is familiar with hip hop, so you know that it's more than just the music. It's about the fashion, a way of life, and also attitude. So hip hop has been around since the 70s. And, I for one, I'm glad to have, come up in that time when hip hop first started, because you just get to see how it has evolved and changed over the years. Because if you go back now and you listen to some of the early hip hop that came out in the beginning, and just listen to the lyrics, and you will see that the lyrics they're very basic, very elementary. And the thing about that is, back then when hip hop started, it was all about fun. It wasn't about diss tracks and all the kind of violent things that are going on, what it has kind of gotten to now. So back then it was all about fun, and it's like crews used to get together and they would battle rap, and or they would break dance. So it would be like a dance battle, a rap battle. So all of that kind of is embodied when you think of hip hop. All of that is included, right? And it's like back then, like I said, it was more about fun. And back then too, the lyrics they wrote a lot of lyrics back then compared to now. And I'm gonna tell you something, I do not listen to the new hip hop, okay? Because I call it mumble rap. First of all, you can't understand what they're saying. And then a lot of times they're repeating the same thing over and over. It's kind of like in a loop. And it's like, what is that? And you don't understand what they're saying. Now, I think the younger generation, they should take a page out of the book from the OGs and realize that if you're going to make a rap song, at least speak clearly so people can understand what you're saying so they can get the full understanding and hear what you're saying as opposed to just getting a beat and just saying anything. I mean, I just don't understand that. But anyway, I can't listen to the new rap. I just can't. I'm biased to the old heads because that's what I grew up on. That's what I know, and I can actually understand what they're saying. Okay, and it's like I said, these days the rap is horrible. I'm sorry. I don't mean to say it like that, but it is horrible, y'all. But I guess, if you're from the newer generation, then, I guess you would like it. That's because you don't know what the old hip hop sounds like. Well, anyway, hip hop has just changed. It started with, like I said, the basic rhymes, and it's gotten a lot better. There are a lot of conscious rappers and groups out there that, they rapped about the struggle and things going on, about life in the hood and about how to get out from under that. But, nowadays it's a lot of drama involved and everybody want to diss that person and the other. And a lot of people don't like it because they see it as a negative thing, because some of it is violent, the cursing, and, they talk about some, illegal activities, things like that. So I can understand if you don't, want to listen to it. But a lot of it has some really positive messages. If you just listen to the lyrics, you will see that a lot of it does have some positive things about it. And they do have the clean versions for anyone. You don't have to listen to the curses and stuff like that if you don't want to. I get it. I understand. So, anyway, and let me get started on this one. So, this is the phenomenal growth of hip hop. Okay. What started in 1973, arguably a new era of sound, you might say lyrics abound, origins up for debate, words used to create, breakdancing, beatboxing, pop locking, on any corner people rocking. Was it the Bronx, Manhattan, or Queens? Who had the biggest influence? Does it really matter? I mean, all are cities and cultures of affluence. Two small words, hip hop. Its legacy lives on, a culture rising from some of the greats. Curtis Blow, and these are the breaks. Kool Herc rode around with those speakers. Rock this funky joint with poor righteous teachers. Sugar Hill Gang was a rapper's delight. Don't forget Public Enemy. Don't believe the hype. Boogie Down Productions. You must learn. KRS-One said it best. Check the rhyme, y'all, with A Tribe Called Quest. Keeping it strictly business with EPMD. Eric B. and Rakim said, check out my melody. How many mics does it take by the Fugees? This can't be life, said Bean, Scarface, and Jay-Z. Lauryn Hill sings Say La while MC Lyte raps in Cha Cha Cha. De La Soul said stakes is high, and Queen Latifah sings UNITY. All I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter if you are in the New York state of mind like Nas or if you stand tall with Rhapsody. Let's not forget Mobb Deep. Rest in peace, Prodigy. Hip hop is here to stay. It feels like it started just yesterday. Tupac wrote an anthem, Dear Mama, and Notorious B.I.G. was Big Papa. The music ain't slippin', spit DMX. Which artist do you think got next? Poem. Okay, y'all, so that's the phenomenal growth of hip hop. And the thing too, I want y'all to chime in on this because there has been this long standing argument about who started hip hop. Where did it come from? Who was there? And I mean, it'd be some heated discussions about this. And I just want to know, do y'all really care where it came from? Does it really matter? I mean, there's so many people that contribute to rap music and hip hop, the whole culture as a whole. Does it really matter who was there, who started it, where it came from? I mean, to me, I think it's silly because it has lasted for decades now. It's been around for decades. So why does it even matter? I want y'all to chime in on this and let me know. Do you care where it came from when it started? All I can say for me personally is that I am glad to have lived and been around when this all started because there's so much legacy, so much history, and like I said, it has evolved so much. And it from where it started till today, you just go back, just listen to the lyrics, and you can actually understand what people were saying. But now you listen to it, and it's like, what are you even talking about? Like, what? I don't understand that. But anyway, like I said, I think the youngins, they need to take a page out of the book of the OGs and, you know, maybe y'all will change it up and, see what happens from there. But anyway, y'all, I want to thank you for tuning into this episode. And like I said, chime in, let me know. Do you care where hip hop came from, when it started, or who started it? Anyway, y'all, thank you again for listening. Until next time, stay well and be blessed. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the IBO podcast. You can hear this and all episodes on the Podbean app, YouTube, and Spotify. Until next time, stay well and be blessed.